Hiya. I'd be filming from a weird area. I never film in my room. Well, it's like the guest bedroom, but it's my bedroom. It's where I sleep most of the time. It's always a mess, that's why. I'm a messy ass motherfucker. Like, I'm a fucking mess. Not only is my life a mess, I'm a mess, but today I wanted to show, I didn't record it, I was going to show me putting the saran wrap on my tattoo before because I had to go groom a dog today and I had just got that humongous thigh piece tattoo less than 2 days ago. And so I was super worried about getting dog hair in it because I'm a groomer. I'm going to groom a dog. So I was like, fuck, what am I going to do? So I put a bunch of like the oil or the whatever butter crap that I'm using, loaded it on there, wrapped it with saran wrap, band-aided it on, and then I put leggings on so it would hold on the saran wrap, and then I put grooming pants over that, like the windbreaker, you know, those kind of pants, the windbreaker pants. They're called grooming pants, but and then I wore those over leggings, and I was like, I think that should be enough, like, to keep out the dog hair, because the dog I was grooming, her hair is nothing, like, major, just barely even anything comes off anyways. So it's nothing ever too bad, but I was super worried about anything bad happening to my tattoo because I just wanted it to be like, and I was worried about putting saran wrap because my tattoo artist said not to put saran wrap on it except for the day that she did and when I got home to take it off, and then from there to let it air out and keep it moisturized. And then I watched a YouTube video and one of the guys said, oh yeah, you could every time when you go to sleep put saran wrap on it so that it doesn't stick to your sheets. And right now I'm having such a problem with, like, I've been sleeping with my leg out of the blanket and like just been sleeping super uncomfortable and sitting super uncomfortable so that it doesn't touch anything or rub on anything, and it's just, you know, so saran wrap would be helpful. But so today when I took off the saran wrap, like right before I had put it on, it was so scabby and like dry, and it was just like, it was lumpy from being so scabby. And I took the saran wrap off and I don't know what it did. I don't know if it's bad or if it's good, but every single scab is like gone, and it looks like the tattoo is brand new. Like it looks like it's like healed, like all the scabs just healed. Like I don't know, like when I ripped off the saran wrap, there was like a nasty layer of tattoo, like whatever comes out of it type thing. Like it wasn't ink, it was just what was left over in the wax and like the tattoo nastiness when I took it off. So I was like, yeah, when I cleaned it and no ink came off, it was just the wax. And then I looked at it and I was like, damn, it looks really good. Like it was so scabby. And now, actually, let me flip the camera. Hi y'all, I know it's been quite a while since I've even checked in with anyone, but I'm back. I had a lot of stuff go on. I've literally been doing like the most lately, which is surprising because usually I don't, but I'm on day 7 of sobriety, so that's good. Stayed sober, I've been doing good. I'm gonna put in this here actually. I don't want to be talking too loud or too quiet, but I don't want to get copyrighted and that's the one else in my music, so is what it is. But I haven't put up a video in a cool minute, but I've been wanting to, there were 2 story times that I wanted to do. And like the weather, usually I always like record my videos outside and do all of my stuff outside because the lighting's the best and you can see the best. Yes, I'm having to film in my bathroom, sorry. I don't think this wall would get better lighting, but anyways, I just wanted to be able to tell you guys a story time, so ignore the background. It's just the best lighting in the house. Our house has horrible lighting. And it's too cold outside, and especially with this tattoo, I don't want to leave it susceptible. But I've been so like busy planning my next tattoo. Oh my god, I'll show you guys a little bit later, but what I have planned. So anyways, I've been wanting to do these story times, and the weather just like has not been good enough for me to be able to do anything whatsoever. So, but I really wanted to say thank you to, hold on one sec. One sec. To Rock and Roberta, like I really want to say thank you so much, Roberta. Like you for giving me a shout out on your channel. Like I can't tell you how appreciative I am, and everyone that came to my channel because of her, like thank you. You guys are like the real MVPs, you know. So I appreciate anyone who came over to my channel to hear anything about me or know what's going on with me or what's going on with my sobriety or just what's going on with anything. So I appreciate that anybody is out there that's caring, and I appreciate that other people are helping me like grow my channel. So that's really a hit home. So just know that I'm like immensely grateful. Okay, so the story, what I want to do for this story time. It's so uncomfortable to try and like sit with this tattoo. Oh my goodness, it's literally been the most like uncomfortable thing ever. So I wanted to talk about my first arrest. And like my very first arrest was so messed up. Like legitimately, it was just so messed up how everything happened and like how everything played out. And I had never had any charges. I had never even had anything more than a speeding ticket before this. And they treated me like I was literally trash. Like it was just ridiculous. It was dealing with Ventura County PD. It was actually Moore Park PD. And that was my very first arrest. And so I was pulling out of my job. I had just got off at like 7 at night, and I was pulling out of my job. And as I turn out, and I literally am about to turn the corner to go to the canyon for me to go home. And as soon as I turn, a cop comes right behind me and puts the sirens on and pulls me over. And I was like, oh my god. So I like pull over and I go into and I go into this gas station that I used to always go and buy cigarettes at, and I was like really cool with the guy inside. And oh my goodness, like, oh my god, dude, I was so nervous. Like my anxiety was bad, and I was using it that time, but like I hadn't just smoked. I hadn't even smoked since my lunch break, so I hadn't smoked for a cool minute. And so they walk up to my Jeep, and in the Jeep, like that, I had never been arrested before, so I was hella stupid, and I had all kinds of shit just like everywhere, kind of apparent, you know, like that I was obviously, I mean, I didn't have things out, but I didn't have things hidden perfectly. I wasn't safe about it. And so the blue lights go on, and I pull over, and I literally, like, I parked as if I was gonna get gas, and I was like, are you pulling me over? Because I literally was so confused, because I didn't do anything wrong. I was like, my blinker was on, I'm not speeding, like, what are you pulling me over for? And then he's like, can I have your license and registration, ma'am? One cop walks up, and then the next cop walks up over here. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so I open up my glove box, and this cop shines a light in there trying to see if there's anything in there. Of course there's not. I get my registration, I get my insurance, everything, and I hand it to him. And he's like, you see this? You see this right here? This is the problem. And I look, and my registration was 1 week expired. 1 week expired, and I didn't know that. And I was like, honestly, officer, I swear to God, I did not even know. Like, I didn't get a notification from the DMV. Like, I am incredibly sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. And I was nervous. Because even just being pulled over, because I've never even been, I didn't even understand what was going on. And I had just gotten off of work. And of course, when you just get off work, when you work as hard as I do grooming, like, your face looks beat. I have acne. I've had acne forever, and I was using it at the time. So I had acne. And I have this birthmark on my lip. It's a little freckle. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's a brown little birthmark. This will come in the story very, very soon. So they walk up, and then they say, okay, registration, whatever, and they walk back to their cars. So they come back, and they're like, we're going to need you to step out of the vehicle. And I was like, okay. I was like, why? I was like, and they're like, do you mind if we search your vehicle? And I was like, I don't see why there's any reason for you to search my vehicle. I haven't given you any reason to be suspicious of me. And he was like, actually, those pock marks on your face and that burn mark from hitting the pokey on your lip that you have, that lets me know that's all I need, reasonable suspicion enough to pull you over and for me to have a warrant to search your car. I don't need anything more than that. And I was like, and he pulled me out of the car, and he wouldn't let me grab my cell phone, so I couldn't text my mom. And he sat me on the hood of his car, and then from there they had to wait for a female officer, but they were doing the sobriety test, and I passed literally every single motherfucking test. I passed, except for my pupils. And we were standing outside in pitch-ass black dark, like, and I have a lazy eye, so, like, when you have to follow things, like, I do have a lazy eye, so, it's not perfect. And so they were trying to say that I just, like, bombed these sobriety tests, and I didn't, because I legitimately was not on anything. But I had a gram of heroin, I had Xanax, I had Suboxones, I had, like, bong in the back, I had weed, I had pieces, I had all kinds of stuff in the car, because I had never been pulled over before, dude. I didn't even have a record. I didn't even expect that, and I didn't expect for a cop to just look at me and assume that my acne and my birthmark is me being, he thought I was a meth addict because I'm skinny. And then I was like, no, that's actually not what it is. I was like, I've had this birthmark since I was born. Me and my mom actually have the complete matching one. And he's like, no, it's not in your driver's license picture. I've had it since I was born. It's in my driver's license picture. You know how shitty driver's license pictures are? I was like, and they would literally, they kept like, they were so mean to me for being my first arrest, and it was 2 male officers. So then they start doing the sobriety test. As soon as they do this, for being my first arrest, and it was 2 male officers. So then they start doing the sobriety test. As soon as they do the sobriety test and he gets the pupils, they're like, all right, search a car. So they go to the car and then they find everything. And then at that point I told them like where everything was, and that, okay, yeah, that was there, yeah, that's heroin, yeah, I used, yeah. I mean, I was caught at that point, I couldn't do anything. And I was like, please let me call my mom, like my mom is going to think I'm dead, because the last she heard that I was off of work and driving home through this crazy, scary canyon that I drive home through, and my mom automatically, I know, thinks the worst, and I'm like begging this cop, please let me call my mom. And he's like, what the fuck is your mommy going to do for you? He's like, no, you're fucking 21 years fucking old, you're a grown-ass fucking woman, what the fuck is your mom going to do for you? He's like, you can't be a little fucking baby right now, you did this, you got yourself here, you're just going to have to wait and deal with it. He's like, oh, sure, your mom, and oh, your anxiety, sure, that's why you're so nervous, sure. Like, they were being so, and then about the birthmark, they're like, sure, okay, yeah, birthmark, okay, And they were literally just being, like, so mean to me, and I gave them no reason, literally, besides being nervous, when they told me that my registration was expired, because I didn't know that it was expired, and that made me, like, anxiety, you know? Because I've been pulled over plenty of times before that where I had drugs on me, and like they didn't think I looked suspicious at all, and I got my speeding ticket and they let me go, you know. So at that point, they have me sitting on the bumper still, and then they have a female officer come, and then they search me. I had nothing on me because they caught me by surprise, so everything was in the car, and they got so much. The thing I got lucky with, though, is that they took my car at the time, and instead of impounding it, the only nice thing they did, instead of impounding it, they drove it and they parked it in a parking lot so that someone could come get it the next day, but they left my purse in there, and it was unlocked. But that's a different story, like, just to be jerks. And then they poured, like, bong water all over the back seat. They fucking did all, they were just, like, just to be assholes. They did so much fucked up shit, dude. So now I'm being arrested, and we're driving, and I'm sitting, and I'm handcuffed, and I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and I'm thinking, I'm actually really being arrested right now. Like, I'm being arrested for actually using, like, heroin. Like, I'm actually this is happening. I'm being arrested. And it was a long drive from fucking Moore Park all the way to Ventura County to where they take you for booking and stuff. And so I get there, and they bring me in, and then they do the intake. And the first thing, they have me start taking out, like, all my piercings and all my everything. And they're like, don't start crying, don't start being a baby, don't start crying now. Like, they were just being so outrageously mean. Like, they're just outrageously mean people. Like, God, like, and they were like, if you can't get them out, we'll rip them out. And I was just like, okay, like, I'm trying. They're like, you're not going fast enough. Like, the girls in there were just so mean, the arresting officers. And if you need something, they don't care. If you have a question about your case, they won't answer it. They won't tell you anything. They literally will not tell you anything. And so it was the most fucked up thing, because the cops told me that I would get released, that I would get OR'd in a matter of 6 to 8 hours. So don't post bail, don't bother wasting your money, because you're going to get out of here for free, because this was my first offense. I'd never had any other charges. So I'm waiting. I'm in this jail cell. I'm actually in jail with all these other girls and crazy homeless people, and I'm hearing these crazy ass stories, and it's my first time in there, so I'm like super like weirded out, because now, like, I've been to jail like almost 3 or 4 times now, so I'm not like as weirded out by it. But they had me in the holding cell still with a bunch of other people. Like, there were like 13 girls in something the size of this bathroom, and we were all just sitting close together so we could be warm, because it's always freezing in there. And so then there was a shift change between the guards. I had been in there probably for about 8 or 9 hours, and at this point my mom had to call my work and tell my work, like, you know, like, Andy had something happen and she can't come into work today. And I managed to hide it. Like, I managed to hide it from my work, because my mom called and, like, said I was sick, and, like, I got away with it. And so then the 8 hours came around, and I was like, okay, you know, like, I should be getting OR'd, right? And all the people who came in with me got OR'd. And then a different officer who had just came like, get up. And she's like, you have an hour. You either need to post bail or we're sending you off to Totterell. I was like, what are you talking about? They just told me that I was going to get OR'd, and that's why I've been sitting in here waiting. She's like, no, I don't know what happened, but something changed. Your charges are too much. I was like, it's my first arrest. She's like, I don't know what to tell you. Either post bail or I'm sending you. And I was like, I would have posted bail 8 hours ago, and I could have already been out.
So then I had to call a bail bondsman and then get a bail bondsman because my wallet was impounded. They had to come and I had to release my property to the bail bondsman and then they could get my money. And then I had to wait 6 to 8 hours again for them to let me out. So I was sitting in the exact same room for almost 27 hours with no cigarette, withdrawing off heroin, like just got off, was still in my fucking work clothes, and I was wearing these jeans that had buttons on the bottom, and sitting on concrete with button jeans on your butt when you're so skinny and you have no ass. Oh my god, it was the most painful thing. Like, oh my god, it was the most painful thing. God, it was just awful. Like, it was awful. And then to have to call my mom from jail, like to literally call my mom from jail and be like, she thought I was dead. They were driving through the canyon looking for me, thinking I was dead, and like just that guilt. And then I was like, okay, well, you know, when I get bonded out, can you come get me? So after that whole first fiasco, I got bonded out, and I went to my court dates, and then I ended up qualifying for Prop 36, which is a mandated drug program thing for the courts that they do, and it actually will, if I could have got lucky and got diversion, I would have actually had the charges expunged, where they're like actually gone off my record. But because it wasn't a moving violation, but because I was in a car, they said I didn't qualify, and I had to get Prop 36. So I got Prop 36, which was another court-mandated drug course, and I had to do it for 6 months, and they drug tested twice a week, so you couldn't get away with doing anything, and I was clean, obviously, and I was working, and I was doing really good. And then I graduated from the program, and I started using again, and then that's how I got my next arrest, but I'm still waiting for those to go through, and I don't know if they're gonna, so I have to hold off on that. I can't talk about it or say anything about it because I don't even know what's going to happen with it. But like, my first arrest was just like literally the worst thing ever, and it was so embarrassing getting released out of there. And the day that, like, as soon as I got released, I ran into so many people that I knew, and I looked like trash. I had my little clear plastic bag that says, hey, you just got out of jail. I was fucking coming down, fucking feeling like shit. I had no shoelaces, no belt, like looking hella tore up. And I had to walk for like almost 2-3 miles to go buy a pack of cigarettes so that I could get a fucking cigarette. Oh my god, because of course the cops were dicks and would not put a fucking cigarette in my like thing to come with me to jail. Oh god, it was just seriously like, it was an awful experience. And I told myself I'm never going to go back to jail again, because once I completed Prop 36, I actually graduated early because I did so good in the program. And as soon as I was doing methadone treatment at that time too, and as soon as I graduated from that program, that's when I just started slipping up, because like I needed structure, and I was like finally like free. Like I did it because I had to, you know, and I thought I wasn't going to get in trouble again, but I started drinking and using Xanax instead of using heroin and thinking I was being clean, but I ended up getting in way more trouble. And now I'm fucking up, like, I feel like I know all about jail. Like, I literally feel like I'm trying to prepare myself because I might have to do like hard jail time, you know, so I'm pretty scared about that, but trying to prepare myself for it. But I hope the best works out and charges don't go through and everything's okay. But as of right now, those charges that I did get, they're dismissed, because when I completed the Prop 36 class, they are dismissed now because I completed. So like, if anyone searches me up on a job record, it'll say I was arrested for possession, but it will say dismissed underneath. So it cancels out kind of, and it was a misdemeanor, so it's not like the end of the world. But if these next following two go through, those could be the end of the world. Like, those could be some serious shit, and that's what I'm really scared for. But I just wanted to be able to, like, I haven't been on here in a little while. No, I finally fucking took a shower and I look decent. Kind of, maybe. I have no makeup on, but my skin's clearing up a little bit. But I've been hella sober, and my fucking pupils, look at this shit. I actually have pupils, which is key sign that I'm clean. But, yeah, here's my cat. See how she's healing. I made these leggings, I cut them out. Yeah, there's a hair on here, that's cute. Don't look at that. She's feeling super good. I found this like super good like Burt's Baby Bees something, and oh my god, it works so good. Like, I'm telling you, like so good. It like healed my tattoo magically. I'm so proud of it. But I'm gonna go show you the pictures I want for my next tattoo, and then I'm gonna have this video together. But again, thank you to everybody out there who subscribes to my channel. I appreciate, honestly, every single one of you. Sorry I've been absent. I've been dealing with a lot of lawyer stuff. I'm actually trying to sue Petco right now, so we'll see how all that goes for all the shit that they did to me. So I'm actually like, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff going on right now, but it's gonna work out. It's gonna be good. And well, until next time, man. Later. Bye guys. So I can't decide between this one or this one. Or this one. This is one I really want, but the size of it is a little intimidating. And it would be going all right here in this area next week.